Hello, everyone. It's me, Rebel Trader, with Take the Initiative. Welcome back. We've got some top cut action here in what could very well be a preview of the Galactic Championship Finals. We've got Han2 Blue versus Han2 Blue. This has been one of the pretty much the most hyped deck at the moment. Both Uncle Rico and Weyoun are very good players, and they've decided to bring it here to the Top Cut. So, if you're just joining us, this Top Cut is a bit different. It's round robin and we're going to play a finals with the top two players in the round robin bracket. We've had one match already. It looks like I didn't put it in challenge yet, but Gerald took out Mini Captain in the first round, and this is our second match of round one. And then every player's going to play every player. So yeah, let's take a look at the deck list. I mean, they're both Han2 Blue. This is they're both with the Force base. This is Weyoun's. He's running the Ogdo Bogdos. I don't think that Uncle Rico is. Let's check. Yeah, Rico is not on Ogdo Bogdo. Otherwise they're pretty similar. Rico's on Yadol, and Weyoun isn't. That's like one less 2-drop for Force. It looks like either of them on Eddie Galea? No, neither of them are. We're relying heavily on threes, but I mean the core of the deck is the same. 3 Force Throw, bunch of value stuff to play with Han, Kiadi Mundi, and then top end Lukes and Crate Dragons and Mesas and other stuff. And then some good removal. So we're gonna get into it. I think they might be waiting on my go ahead here. So I'm going to give it to them. Nope. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm just gonna riff like I always do in mirror matches. I'm not sure which of these players has the advantage, but I think it's gonna end up being Han2 Blue that takes it. It's just got a lot of plays that the other deck also has, but sometimes Han2 Blue just does it a bit better than Han2 Blue, Oh, I should also mention that Han2 Blue was the winner of last month's league. Dylan took it down, so we'll see if he can repeat it here. All right, Weyoun's going to start us off with Ezra, and Rico is going to copy that play. Ooh, Mace Windu picked up for Rico here, which, even though it's a 4 cost, is technically online right now with the Han ability. What are they saying in chat? Oh, Force. Let's pull up Ezra for those that haven't seen him yet. Oh, is it not? I really, it's not working. All right, so it looks like Kiadi Moody is going to come down here for Rico. And Weyoun, it looks like didn't have a play. All right, so now 2 force units are down for Rico, which is really nice. He's holding a copy of Chariot, also 2 copies of Force Throw, which could be kind of insane. Weyoun's just going to go and trade with Ki there for his first action. Then Ezra goes into base and generates the Force. For Rico, we've got Itinerant Warrior. No, that's a $2 word, itinerant. That is the card I'm thinking of, right? Yeah, itinerant warrior. It means like nomadic, like going from place to place. All right, we're going into 5 resources, which means it is the mutual Anakin flip turn. Looking at Riga's hand, he's got a pretty strong one of Chirrut plus. Oh well, he's already got Chirrut down actually, but he can go like Yaddle plus double force throw. On Weyoun's side, he's got some options here. He's got another Itinerant Warrior, Ogdo Bogdo, Mace, Shatterpoint. All right, goes in with the Itinerant. Chirrut is going to use the Force here. And then generate it back. Oh, yeah, and the Itinerant generated the Force for Weyoun as well. And it looks like we're going to see, another Itinerant. Okay. And then presumably Weyoun is planning to flip and then use Han again to be able to play Ogdo Bogdo. Ogdo Bogdo is one of my favorite cards in this set. It's just so fun. Like I play him in Kira. He's probably not that good in Kira, but he's just so fun whenever he goes off. All right, and here's our first Force Throw of the game. Coming down from Rico. And so there goes the Ogdo Bogdo plan. And that 3 damage is going on to the Han. And here's why Chirrut is just so powerful. He's used that ability twice this phase. To protect himself. And a second Force Throw hits the table. No matter what here, this Itinerant is going to get it. And Yaddle to follow up. This is looking real good for Rico. Now, Weyoun's not out of it. He's got a couple power plays in hand, which he can use to get back into this. But Rico's going to get his own. And he just drew a Luke. That's incredible. He's got Luke, Anakin, and Follow Dragon in hand to deal with a potential threat from Weyoun. All right, here's Mace Windu. Gonna come down, immediately snipe that Yadel. And Rico's just gonna run up the score here on the board. Weyoun was able to use was able to clear 2 units here. Let's pull up Mace Windu for you. All right, here's Luke. Just gonna answer that Mace Windu right away. So let's take him out. Now that Luke is in range of getting sniped by Weyoun's Luke if he runs the itinerant into Ezra right away. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. He's at so much damage. He can survive 1 hit from the Luke, but can't survive Luke and Han. And can't survive Luke hit plus claim. So yeah, here comes the Luke. That clears the Han. Uncle Rico claims. And that's it. And that ends up being a shutout for Uncle Rico. Ooh. Sometimes it just goes like that. Turn 2 mattered a lot. Weyoun didn't get a play. And Rico had Ki-Adi-Mundi, and then he had double force throw, and it's really hard to come back from that. Weyoun played it well. He put up a good fight. But good thing this is a best of 3. Let's take a look at the deck list here. Looks like Weyoun's sideboard is pretty kitted out for a lot of different circumstances. I'm not sure which of these things makes it in the mirror here. He's got like Fang Fighter for upgrade decks, Cham for ramp decks, Bombing Run for like TIE Fighter Swarm decks, Redemption and Krayt Dragon for long game things. Oh, we're having audio problems. All right, is that? Nope, that's not better. Check, check. All right, I think we're good. Let me know if we are having more audio problems. All right. And then Uncle Rico's sideboard is pretty similar, except he's got Conquer Dawns and Pillages in there instead of Redemptions and Fang Fighters. All right. Let's go back. And we're starting game 2 here. And it's the Big Frog from Weyoun into the Ezra. Let's pull out the Big Frog on screen for you. He's going to base, which I think, you know, he is good at killing units, but I think the best way to use him is just to go to base. And for the second game in a row, we're going to see Ki-Adi-Mundi on turn 2 for Uncle Rico. Now, Yoda is actually going to be able to somewhat counteract this from Weyoun's perspective, because he can trade immediately into the key, and then he gets a draw himself. And generates a force token. Oh, it looks like Weyoun is being aggressive here. Presumably, oh, he's going for Churret here. Interesting. I guess my guess is he might want to retain the ability to restore with Yoda. I mean, in a match like this, which could very well be like an aggro off, it does make a lot of sense to maintain that restore. All right, interesting play we just saw there. Force throw used by Rico on his own card just to get rid of a Churret. Churret is just that good. He really is. All right, now on to 5 resources. It's the flip turn. And Weyoun's got initiative here. And again, he's just going to base with that Yoda. Probably the same rationale, but also with the Itinerant Warrior on board, could be a lot different because she is threatening to just snipe the Yoda without dying back. Weyoun's holding a copy of Red 5 and a copy of Grogu, both of which could be really interesting here. Also copy Ki-Adi-Mundi, which is just value, and Churret, which is also just gas. All right, it's going to be Ki-Adi-Mundi. This Han deck is it just has so many good cards in it. All right, both Hans are going to flip here. A second Ki-Adi hitting the board for Rico. Who draws into a force throw, which is really nice. What just happened? Oh, he just drew from the discard. I was going to say, like, okay. All right, there is the Grogu from Weyoun. Let's pull up the Baby Yoda here. He's a really interesting one. But with in a mirror like this, with all the damage floating around, makes a lot of sense. All right, Weyoun's playing a value game here. It looks like Rico's going to as well, killing each other's units. Ooh, hidden coming in. Grogu unable to be sniped by the itinerant warrior. Now, she could just as easily hit base or kill either of the other units. Yeah, and she's going to kill Kiadi. All right, and it looks like Rico's got a slightly better board position here. Only slightly, but sometimes that's all it takes to pull ahead in a match like this. Weyoun's got initiative. Going to go ahead and Grogu to kill that itinerant warrior. Hammerhead going to snipe Yoda. And this puts Weyoun on the back foot without a force token here. He very easily go for like Chirrut and then Han and a Yoda. Even without the force token, Chirrut is still a pretty formidable wall here. Rico can run him over, but he's going to take a lot back in the process. All right, going to start in, at least. Let's see, is Han going to finish the job on the Chirrut? And he is. Probably a wise move from Rico, because can't stop the force tokens from rolling in next round. All right, this one is shaping up to be a much more grindy match. By this point in time last game, it was basically already over. Grogu gonna put damage on the Hammerhead, which looks like it's setting up for a kill with Chewie. If I remember how Chewie works correctly. Let's pull him up. He was playing a lot in shadows, but sort of left the meta a little bit for a while. But now he's back in it in full force because he's one of the favorite tools of this Han Blue deck. And here he is in the flesh. is going to get answered right away by Shatterpoint, but effectively 2 for 1. That's not bad. And Weyoun picks up a force throw. I think that's his first force throw of the match. All right, we're now at 8 resources, which is officially Crate Dragon territory. Rico's holding 2 in hand, but Weyoun is holding 2 copies of Shatterpoint. And it looks like Crate Dragon is going to be the play here. Rico's just going to pass, not going to try to put anything into that turret. And there's not really a point because Force Token's still up. But now that Shatterpoint's been used and that Force Token is spent, I imagine Rico's going to take the trade. And he is, yep. And now this board state's looking pretty good for Weyoun. Looks like Weyoun's going to stay at 8 here, which makes sense. Doesn't really need to go any higher. Red 5 is an interesting move here. Leave 6 resources open, which could be either Anakin or a Han and Luke. Or the Cassian out of the resource row that we just saw. All right, Mace going to come down, immediately clear that red 5. And it looks like we're going to see the Luke clear the Mace. Now, how greedy is Weyoun going to be with the force throw? I'd be pretty greedy if I were him. Yeah. He's going for it. That's a dead Luke. With 2 copies, you can be greedy. And then those Yoda and Baby Yoda just getting in for a little bit of damage. Rico, it looks like he's got a couple options, but it might just be dropping the crate here. Yep. Let the cards dance. And yep, there's the second Shatterpoint. That is going to be the death of Yoda. It looks like Weyoun missed the force generation off the Yoda attack. Oh, no, never mind. He played Shatterpoint after to remove it. I'm dumb. All right, it's going to Han in the Poe here. And Grogu just gets in for 1. Generates the force. Here comes Grogu. Remember that he's hidden, so Poe can't snipe him. All right, the big frog. Ugh, I love the big frog. And there's the, I always forget what that card is called. Jedi in Hiding. There's going to be an Itinerant Warrior, Han, and unfortunately with no Force token. So it doesn't get heal. Now UncleRico set himself up with 3 Force units. To be able to generate the Force to play that Mace Windu next round. But he's playing from a back foot here, especially with this Poe out there and the Grogu to be able to heal him. And I think Weyoun is deciding whether or not to be aggressive and go base or to potentially try to clear some of these units. Yeah, Weyoun can't attack the Grogu because of hidden. So it's either got to be Ezra or base. Either way, he is going to be able to snipe this Itinerant Warrior. Grogu going to heal up that Poe. Things are looking pretty good on this top side of the board here. And for us fans, because that means there's going to be a game 3. Woo! All right, Anakin does put a bit of a damper on that. Clears the biggest threat out there, which is the Poe. The big frog is going to eat the little Yoda. All right, there's gonna be a crash from the Jedi in Hiding, which is gonna force the discard of the mace, which sets up for a Luke sniping of the Anakin. Yep, and Rico sees it coming. Oh, Ezra actually gets to give the experience to the Ogdobogdo. I didn't realize that interaction. That's cool. Grogu just gonna go to base here. Let's see, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hey, without that Luke, it's not quite lethal this turn, but it's pretty darn close. Four-star fired off, not enough to even kill anybody. Key is going to come out here, draw a couple more cards for Weyoun. None of them are useful right now. But did you try blocking for that Jedi in hiding? That's 7 to base with the Agdo Bagdo. Grogu's going to make it 8. 2 ways to lethal, and doesn't look like Rico's got anything for it. Good game. So we'll see a game 3 here. Whew. Well played from both players. Let's take a look at the bracket here. Remember, it is round robin. So even if, regardless of the result here, both these players are still in it. Weyoun is going to go in up next round against Mini Captain, who is on Quinlan Targentone. And Uncle Rico is going to have to face Gerald on Krennic ECL. All right, Rico getting us started with a Jedi in hiding. Weyoun getting us started with deciding between Red 5 and Ezra. I really like the Red 5 here. It's vulnerable to a couple of things, but if it gets going, like, it could be insane. Biggest thing as well in World 2 is force throw, obviously. And let's see, Rico does have it, but Weyoun picks up his own force throw, which he could use. I mean, you hate discarding a card that valuable, but if it saves you the Red 5, maybe it's worth it. Oh. All right. Rico second guessing his resource decision. Decides to go for Hammerhead, which I think was his original plan. All right, it looks like Rico is going to concede that this Red 5 might get ahead and not going to go for the force throw play. Weyoun going to play this a bit slow. Wait to see what Rico does. It looks like Rico. He is going to go for the force throw here. And yeah, Weyoun discards his own. He still can Yoda in or Han in the Yoda. Let's see. Red 5 aggressive base. It looks like Weyoun might be declining to red 5. Because he doesn't want to take the discard. Yeah, no, he's not going to do it. With his hand, it makes a lot of sense. He's with only 2 cards in hand, he's super vulnerable to like a second copy of Force Throw. Really doesn't want to have to make a play like this. Also, the pillage could be really valuable in this matchup. And Poe is just really valuable in general, of course. All right, is going to use the red 5 to kill the Yoda here. And it looks like Weyoun going for the Poe here instead of the pillage. And Rico plays out a red 5 of his own. Now Weyoun's got to decide what to do. Just going to take initiative here. And Rico's forced to float a resource. All right, Weyoun with initiative here. Gotta find a way to deal with that, to use that red 5 before it dies here. Now might be a good time to kill that Jedi in hiding. Unless he's worried about Rico having pillage, which I don't think is even in his list. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's on that card. So pillage would be punishing here. But Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. All right. Also, it is the 5 resource turn. So, but it looks like neither player is in position to really have a huge go off play with the flippies. It's just gonna be value. All right. So red 5 is gonna knock out that Jedi in hiding. It's gonna force the discard of the Hammerhead. Weyoun's low enough on cards that Hammerhead isn't gonna have much value realistically anyway. So that makes a lot of sense. And yep, red 5 gonna take out the other red 5. Ezra gonna make the force token, which is gonna set up for that mace. All right, Rico deciding what the play is going to be. He's got a couple options. He's got Poe, which is vulnerable right now to just another Poe. He's got Anakin, which actually stops some of the potential threat from this Poe here. It looks like he's going to pass here, wait out, and see what the move is. He doesn't want to flip at this moment also because flip is vulnerable to Poe. This Poe is just dominating the board state right now. Yeah, I'd expect him to go for Anakin eventually. Because if he goes for Anakin, hits the Poe, and then gets a hit in with his own Han, like that can kill the Poe. He also has to be mindful of what Weyoun might have, which could include things like Shatterpoint, Fell. All right, he is just going to go for the Anakin play. Nerfing that Poe. Now Weyoun's got to decide what to do. It looks like he's just going to swing for 3 and then throw 2 more at the base. He's playing this very aggressively. Which looks to be a pretty sound strategy. He's got a lot of damage on the board. All right, and he's going to bring in Mace as well. Which is going to... could either just snipe the Red 5 out of orbit, or it could put pressure on one of these ground units. Gonna put pressure on the Anakin here, looks like. Interesting. So yeah, Han is gonna kill the Poe. Now let's see what Weyoun does with his Han. He could kill either of these ground units, or he could just put more into base. It looks like he's gonna take initiative to increase his options here. Ooh, double copies of Shatterpoint. Not necessarily what you want to see at this moment, but not horrible also. I wonder if he's setting up to eat one of these units with Mace. Especially that Han. If he eats Han with Mace, he gets 3 overwhelm plus the Mace survives. He's going to resource one of the shatter points, go up to 6. It does hurt to be skipping, especially 6, because you really want to be able to go up to 7 next turn. Even though it does sort of hurt to get rid of Shatterpoint. Weyoun's got to think this one through. It's a toughie. I'm not sure what I'd do in this situation. He's got the line I was just talking about of Mace kill Han. He's got like trade Mace with Anakin, which gets him a bit more overwhelm. He's got like Ezra into Han, which is a positive trade. He's also just got this play, which is straight up run Mace into base. And he's going to go for it. Mace gonna run over Ezra here, which keeps Weyoun in the game, or keeps Uncle Rico in the game for now. But to stay alive next round, Rico has to take out both these units. Shatterpoint going to make that a bit harder by clearing the mace. Actually, I think that makes it impossible. Yeah, so he gets to trade with the Anakin, but then Weyoun gets to attack base here, which forces an answer from Rico. Is Shatterpoint non-leader only? I'm actually not sure. I guess we'll find out. Anakin is also an answer. All right, red 5 coming down for Weyoun. That might just be it. He's on the ground. Han can eat Han. But red 5 can't eat this red 5. Which means Rico's pretty much forced to take initiative. And I don't know if there's any draw that he could get that clears both of these threats. All right, he is going to knock out the Han. Ooh, he's fiddling with the one resource, which is a way to bluff force throw, which gives him an option. Rico, of course, doesn't actually have the force throw, but no rule says you can't fiddle with a resource. All right, Weyoun's just gonna take it, and that's gonna be it. Weyoun mounting a reverse sweep. Congratulations to Weyoun, and well played by Rico. This is a good one. If you're preparing for Vegas, this matchup's gonna come up a lot. So, congratulations to both players, and because it's round robin, they're still both in it. So this could very well be the finals of the league, because at the end of the round robin, the top 2 players are gonna play each other for the grand finals. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We're gonna have more coverage of the Top Cut as things go on. We're also gonna be covering a 1K in a couple of weeks on the 19th, I believe, the week before Worlds. So be sure to tune in for that, and remember to always take the initiative.